Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another District Gooner Pod. It's your two favorite DC Gooners.
Howdy, it's Steven and your boy KP hitting you on a Wednesday again. As we say, happy hump day. It's August 28th, so you're going to be catching this on a Thursday. It's good to be an Arsenal fan, isn't it?
Good vibes all around, dude. I'm having a great week. I hope everyone listening is having a great week. Welcome to those of you joining us for the first time. Vibes are just good, man. The only problem is on the left wing, so we'll have a good amount of time to chat about that today, because I can go an hour on that debate, bro.
It's been a crazy Wednesday. It's been a cookout all day, which is wild. I didn't expect that on a Wednesday to be having such a nice little cookout. The weather is hot here, so, everybody was out, had the shades on in the shade, and that dude, he's at the grill, chefing it up.
Chefing it up, dude. The week has been packed with transfer news, dude. Mostly outgoing, but incoming. Finally confirmed, man. Finally confirmed. This guy, Marino. Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. And you know what? I'm not embarrassed to say this. After I got the Here We Go from Fabrizio, that was the first time I hopped on the YouTube and watched some comps of Marino. I'm not gonna lie. I have not been super involved in this one. It seems like for a long time they're like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I don't know if I didn't want to add the bad juju on it or whatever. I have not seen any comps, but I did watch the comps last night. And guess what? I'm all in. I'm all in for this.
I've only seen a few clips that have popped up on the timeline, dude. But yeah, like you, I just felt like those 5 minutes, I can spend those after the confirmation, maybe. But I'm also looking forward to seeing him. I doubt he starts at the weekend, but maybe I'll hold that for the second half of the pod, dude. Let's chat about the weekend's action, man. How about that game against Villa? What was your biggest takeaway, dude? 2-0 job away. We had talked about it. I know this one meant a lot to you. You wanted that revenge scoreline, and the squad delivered it.
Huge. I mean, it's just like a redemption game, man. It was very much a good vibes, good feeling. The fact that Emmy had the little blunder at the end, the Arsenal fans were giving it to him. It was just the perfect send off for my day, It was like the perfect starts the weekend. I think it was a 12:30 kickoff here. I watched it in New York. I was at a bar. I had a friend's birthday this weekend, so it was in New York. Watching it at the bar. Spurs fan came in. I actually chatted to him for a little bit. It was 0-0 at the time. It was first half. He's like, 0-0 Villa? I was like, all right, nerd. Get out of here. What are you doing? But takeaway from the game, I honestly thought Villa played a really good game. I would say it's kind of a 50-50 game. I think it could have gone either way. They had their chances, right? They were in it. I want to say it's almost felt like a reverse of last year. Our home game, the first time we played them, we had so many chances and they had the early goal, couldn't basically overcome it. To me, they had the better chances. The game was there for them. If they bury one early on us, I think that's their game plan. They hold on. As soon as we got that first goal, to me it was kind of like lights out. They didn't seem like they had enough in the tank for us. The way they wanted to play, we started possessing, easy peasy, left to right. It just seemed like they didn't know what to do at that point. So, I mean, the biggest takeaway, we job done. They could have had it. It's early season. I don't think we're not obviously clicking on all cylinders right now. But, it was 2-0 to the Arsenal, dog.
It was. We had the clean sheet on the pod. Obviously, David Raya had a huge role to play in that. The game itself, I agree with you. I think it's nice to get the Villa away game out of the way. It's one of the tougher places to go in the league. We know that. I was also thinking it's with the other away games coming up too, with the Tottenham, with the City. It's kind of fun to go to those places actually in August and September because it's not dark out yet. It still gets late, a little darker, so the games don't have that night vibe to them, I feel like. And that kind of helps. I was feeling the atmosphere, but I wasn't overwhelmed by the atmosphere of this stadium. What was your takeaway?
That's fair. That's fair because you the basically the shade coming in, you know, so it's still like daytime. The energy is good. I think it's just both teams, I would say, not clicking. Obviously, Ollie Watkins missing the chances. Arsenal's just not fully there yet. Like, maybe it's because of the tournament, right? The Euros. Obviously, people have come back late, but it's a little bit different energy. So I'm watching with my friends who are in New York. We're watching. They're not really footy people. They obviously know I'm an Arsenal fan. We're like making the comments like, Arsenal's really getting run around here. The ball really seems to be on their end of the field. Like, what's going on? And like, that was facts. Like, we obviously held strong. Our defense is what it is, but Villa had their moments. They had parts of the game where, like, I think if I was a Villa fan, I'd probably be disappointed. I would absolutely be disappointed because, like, they had their foot in the door, but, you know, if you don't close it.
Yeah, they didn't close it. I think that's fair, dude. But also, we had moments too. I think the first half was pretty tight in general. You could tell, to your comment of they seemed like to like kind of run out of tank after we scored. It did feel like with 20 minutes to go, we were on top a little bit because. Yeah, the first half you could tell the space was really narrowed. I felt like that there wasn't a lot of time on the ball for either team. They played a high line, but it wasn't as high as I think we expected. I don't know if you saw. I think maybe Mikel's comments were that they played a little defensively differently than what we anticipated, and that kind of gave us some trouble. So that was interesting. But, you know, Saka had the shot in the first half. That was a really good save. Like, it's not that we didn't have our moments either. They did have the sort of coming out of the gate in the second half. They were absolutely on top of us, dude, for the first like 15 of the second half. But I've heard some comments about that incredible save from David Raya. People saying that if Villa score there, we absolutely lose that game. And when I was watching it, I didn't feel like we were going to like absolutely lose that game. I felt like, yes, they're on top. They have momentum. Maybe they had the mo to score, but it did feel like we can still get a point out of it. I never really had a doubt that we were going to lose that game on a dime like that. Did you?
No, I didn't. I do think, I mean, their game plan to me was like pretty obvious. I agree with you on their line. I definitely thought it was going to be higher, which probably is why Martinelli started. Like, they think they're going to be able to play him through. So even though their line was different, I think their game plan in totality was like the same. And they're going to kind of try to smash and grab it. They're all about the counterattack. I mean, getting it out to Bailey, getting out wide. Morgan Rogers, obviously just trying to run through us at points. Like, they were playing the same style to me as last season. They're a little bit bigger now. They're a little bit stronger. They are fast. It's like it worked to them at some points, but also with our game plan from last year, control, right? Defensive solidity, kind of like the actual shape of the team. Never lost that at any point of the game. Like, I love that Timber was playing left back, bro. There was a point they sent it over his head into Bailey, and it was like a one-on-one challenge, and Bailey kept the ball. They went shoulder to shoulder, and Bailey kept the ball. But I'm thinking, if that was Zinchenko, like, that's like immediately my mom was like, if that was Zinchenko, it's done. Like, he's in and he's crossing this ball in. But like, Timber held his own. So like, yeah, that's the margins, right? One player made the difference to me. Like, that change, the difference from last season to this season, like, that's it right there.
Yeah, I mean, you were really shouting for Timber to get that start, and the manager took you up on it. You said, I think you had seen maybe like 70 minutes or 60 minutes from him, and then Calafiori seeing it up, but the manager gave him a full 80, dude. He put on a full show for you. And the moment that you mentioned, it's interesting. That was really encouraging to see, because all the training and all the rehab that he's been doing, dude, for the last 11 months, as ready as they may think he is, you can never replicate that 50-50 in a training. And to see him go through that, to have the balance afterwards, to then actually, he helped turn Bailey around, right? And I think we ended up with the ball. So that was super encouraging to see. And it's exciting. I thought overall he had a good performance. He's a center defensive mid, dude. To me, he's giving me Conte vibes, dude. I don't think this guy's an outside back. He's incredible.
Are you saying that like in terms of his like positioning, like his defensive abilities, or like how he was playing the ball?
Everything. He's passing, I feel like, is really sharp. The way he can switch it, the way he can defend, but the way he like reads the game, I feel like. And him and Partey had a few moments you can tell that can be improved with them. Sort of a couple of times I feel like they were taking up similar positions. They were too close to each other. But overall, I mean, he was playing like a center defensive mid most of the game.
I think early on, like that was kind of evident of where he was going to be playing at. To me, defensively, rock solid, like did his job to the T. Offensively, he can get better. Like it's only up from here, right? Like if this is the bottom, like his first game starting for us in a year, like this is the baseline, like hell yeah, I'm taking that. Like I do absolutely think there's room to improve. And what you're saying is probably right on. The positioning with Partey, they just need to get used to each other. Even with Declan Rice, like they just need to get more used to each other. But he's willing to play the ball forward. Like that mix in between, he's probably not as apt to go forward or like good with the ball as Zinchenko, right? But he's not going to be as hesitant and reserved as Tomiyasu. So he's like kind of like that mix. I thought he had a great game. One to watch, baby.
He did.
Segue.
He did. It was nice. It was nice to see Calafiori come in for him and putting the 10 minutes that he did. He's huge, dude. He's already in their heads, man.
That was funny. Did you I got a text. Richie. So big time things?
Dude, I liked what I saw. He only played 10 minutes, but I think he made like 3 tackles that I can remember. Had that nice challenge for the ball, for the header. Totally clean. Absolutely clean, dude. That was the beauty of it. And then the you can't shake me. Like, I'm pretty big, bro. What are you doing, bro? Here's a little thumbs up for you. Take care. Have a good day, dude. I like him. Yeah. I like how he's playing.
100%. I mean, it's only going to be just like Timber, only up from here. First game. I think people like the way he looks. He does look like he's willing to like basically be in the action. There was a point when he was on the left. Villa was in our attacking third. He started at left back. I think he made a challenge towards the center, and then he popped out right, like continued his run. And he was like in the right back, going into right mid position, and a foul was called. But I was like, yeah, this guy, like he's about this. He's about it. So
he's about it, dude. I see the space. I'm going.
But after him, I wanted to watch. Let's hit yours. TP5.
TP5, dude. How about that performance, man? First goal since March 2023. And I told you, I've just had a good feeling about him, dude. I told you he's going to show up on the last pod. He's showing up, dude. The way you had framed it, it seemed like it was going to be a really big test for him. And it was. Their player, who's everyone keeps going on about, Rogers, very good. It's funny, actually, the one clip of him that no one's posting is the first goal where he just passes it to Leo Trossard. But hey, we're all very impressed with the performance. It was really nice from TP5, man. I think that the goal that he got, I mean, that's him, dude. It's nice that Emmy got a fat hand on it and it still went in. Wasn't even that clean of a strike from TP5. I've seen him hit it harder, bro. So I liked what he did. And I also think with a Marino coming in, I do feel like a lot of people are just automatically assuming that Declan Rice is going to go to 6 and Marino is going to start. And I'm not so sure that's going to be the case.
I actually agree. It seems like Arteta's really relying on this dude. I like that he's gotten 2 90s back to back. I think that's really good for him. I also think just the way he's playing, like we're talking about his legs just not being what they used to be. It's getting used to it, right? Him getting used to it, first of all, like you can't be chasing people like you used to do. The athleticism's not there, but you have the skill set to still be such a production machine for us. So I'm really excited by his performances. This is the first time in a long time. Even the end of last season, like, yeah, he looked decent, but he didn't look, I don't know. I didn't feel it from him. I didn't have that like comfortable feeling. Like 2 games in, I know it's a small sample size, but like it feels different. Like the vibe of the team with him in it just feels good right now.
It does. It does. I think he's also fighting to keep that place. And that's also exciting. We like to have competition in the squad, as we just saw this past weekend, dude. Puts a little bit of a fire under some players' bellies, dude. Because my biggest takeaway was, as we mentioned on the last pod, to get to 100 goals, we're going to need to score by committee. Leo Trossard, TP5. Already on our way to 100, dude. How about that from Leandro?
Leonardo. That is Leandro Trossard, man. I loved it. I just loved the celebration. Like, there's really, I mean, as soon as he came on, like, that's the first touch. It wasn't easy either. Like, he makes it look so easy, the way he puts that ball in the net. But as you just alluded to earlier, like, that dude had a touch on it. Kai and Rogers kind of like went in for a challenge together. So, yeah, it's an easy ball across, but then he makes that deflection on it. So, yeah, he had to kind of adjust, but the finish just looked so easy into the side, right? Right into the corner. Like, he was involved in the second goal, right? He made that cross. It went to Saka, then back to TP5. And then the Odegaard chance that he put over, that was from Trossard. Like, he was involved in everything. He really didn't put a foot wrong. He had a left-footed shot that went way wide at one point, but I think he was feeling himself. He was feeling the sauce. And at 2-0, go on. Yeah,
and a few times he also looked like defensively. He was all over the place a little bit. I think I saw him inside of our 18, like next to Benny Blanco for a little bit. So it's pretty exciting. If he's fired up like that, to be performing and saying, look, man, I had the run-in. I had a good preseason. Yes, the Euros weren't great, but come on, it was Belgium. Who was surprised by that? And and I deserve to have this shirt, bro, because Sticks walked out last. He walked out last, dude, put in another stinker, and I don't think he should start against Brighton.
I don't think it's written for him to start that game. My question would be, let's just say it's 60-30. And there's always this like big conversation of like, who should start, who should come off the bench. And this is like multiple positions, right? You get 5 subs. You get 5 subs now. Like that, let's be real. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I don't think there's a much bigger likelihood that you can come off the bench if your manager uses your subs. Mikel, I hope you're listening. Use your subs. But 60-30, like giving Trossard 60, Martinelli the last 30. I think people like to say, well, no, they have Martinelli run him for 60 minutes. Run him, and then put on Trossard for the last. But what's the difference between having Trossard pulling you outside, pulling you inside, dropping in as an outside back, and then you get Martinelli who's just running by you, right? Like, you're tired at that point too. I think it goes both ways.
So I've been backing Martinelli in the sense that if you need to have more defensive support, I understand why he keeps the shirt. But from what I've seen from Timber, from what I've seen from Calafiori, the left backs doesn't seem to be a big issue. That's only going to elevate what Leo can produce for us. I really believe in that. And on the other hand, yeah, dude, I don't think it's written either. It's going to be interesting. The manager, I think one of the big things with him is, run it back mode sometimes can become stubbornness mode. And we're in that in-between line. So his man management here is going to be really interesting. So from the way you frame that argument online, are you saying that you're not convinced by this reasoning that Martinelli should start because he tires the defense and then Trossard comes in and finishes the job?
Correct. I think it goes both ways. They're so different in styles where like you're just so used to guy pulling you in, dragging you this way. Like mentally, I think you have to be how much you have to be turned on for Trossard is just different versus Martinelli, where you're going to be 1v1 challenged to death, right? And in the 60th minute, maybe when your legs are burning a little bit, having a harder time sucking your eggs, like breathing, like maybe that's when, I think it just goes both ways. I just think it's silly to say, no, run him for 60 minutes and then put on Trossard. Like, I just think that's kind of silly.
I'm with you. I'm not convinced by it either, because I'm also hesitant to believe this notion that the starting 11 isn't your best 11. This is something I'm really struggling with, because I think that reasoning that Martinelli's there to tire the defense and then Trossard can finish it, that reasoning answers why does Trossard not start, but it doesn't answer the question, why doesn't the best finisher in the club start games? Because your best 11 are your starting 11. There's no manager in the world, dude, who says, I'm going to keep my best player on the bench until the last 20 minutes because that's when he's going to have the most impact. And I think that's what Trossard is feeling. He's saying, dude, I'm about to turn 30 in December. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm just seeing things out there, coach. Come on now. I touch it, it's in the back of the net.
I think he's definitely going to start because of the reaction when he scored the goal. Like, I really think that was a challenge. Like, to the whole coaching staff, to everybody, right? Involved with the team. Like, I love Saliba telling him, no, do the celebration. Like, that's funny. But, like, from Trossard's point of view, he's like, I dare you not to play me. This is what I'm doing for you, right? Tough game. This is a really tough game. I came on first touch. Bang. This guy's been on all game. He didn't get that chance. Where's his chances? Martinelli did he even have a chance last game? Like, Trossard's got the nose for goal, man. He just does.
The chances that he had, I don't think he capitalized on them. There were a few moments where Martinelli was through, especially in the first half. There was one I remember vividly where he was through and then he seemed like he wasn't sure if he should go to goal and try to beat the outside back. He tried to play it across the 18 with the outside of his foot, like to Odegaard and Saka. It just went in between them and it had to reset the whole move. So a couple of times it happened, dude. And it's just, look, like I said, and I agree with you because the argument is a little silly because Martinelli can be an impact player off the bench. It's not that you're losing an impact off the bench. That's the other aspect. It's like, that doesn't add up for me, dude.
Boom. Like, to me, that's the nail on the head. Like, what are you losing with him? I still believe in Martinelli, and I think it's less pressure if he doesn't start. It's like, hey, get your confidence going. 30 minutes, like, and I'm cool with they split time. There's some positions where you just split time, and to me, that our left wing position is split. You got to split it. I don't think Trossard gives us the 90 because I think at a certain point, it's like, yeah, he needs to come off. I think that's the kind of player he is. Going back through Martinelli's stats here for the last few years, and this is, to me, the critical piece. He has to get his confidence going because it's there. We know it's there. In 21-22, 29 matches played, 6 goals, 6 assists. That's not a bad turnout for a young guy, right? The next season, 22-23, 36 games, 15 goals, 5 assists. Huge. 20 contributions for us. And then going back to last season, 23-24, 35 matches, 6 goals, 4 assists. That is a regression.
It's totally going backwards, but it also helps the argument that we made at the start of this season as part of one of our predictions that you have to reward. You have to reward. And Martinelli he started the first 20 games of last season. I remember that. The first 20 games. And then at December, it was 2 goals. Trossard is saying, bro, I've already played 1 game in the new season, and I've got a goal.
I agree. Have you heard the argument about, like, well, it's tough for Martinelli because he's playing with a lot of new folks on the left. And that's true. So left back, we kind of have had a rotation there. Left center mid have had a rotation. So to that point, it's true. But then it goes, well, who's our other left wing? Trossard. Had the same rotation and he's putting up the numbers. So it's just one of those things where, like, your best 11, right? Maybe your best 11 doesn't include the best. It's not even has to be necessarily the best player, but the best piece of the puzzle. And if Trossard's the best piece of the puzzle that fits there, that's who should be playing, right?
Yeah, and what's more important? Winning the game with 20 minutes to go or winning the game in the first 20 minutes?
Boom. I agree.
Which one's 100%. More important? The risk is to the upside, dude. There is no downside to this change. And I hope we see it, dude, because if we keep starting without saying, no, like, you have to produce, then the meritocracy goes out the window. Speaking of meritocracy, 2 players who really lived up to their name over the weekend. William Saliba big man Tings, dude. Benny Blanco. My outside back, dude. Who's your outside back, bro? Benny Blanco is my outside back.
Benny B. That was tight. I mean, I bet you know I was fucking juiced for that. Like,
at the pub, yeah.
Like that's it right there. There's that angle where some again hits Saliba, and the way Ben White's facing, he's obviously not interested in the ball, but just has like that quick thought in his head, like, nah, I'm going in, and his body turns and wham, he smashes it. But like that's what for years I think we've been asking for. I've personally been like, we need somebody like that who's standing up for players. It's not Xhaka getting in there and getting red cards, right? Mustafi's getting in somebody's face and doing something dumb. Someone like Ben White, who's just a shithouser, just like John McGinn, who does something for Villa. I think he does something for them. Like, he gets them up. I think Ben White also gives us that little bit of fire sometimes.
He absolutely does, dude. I mean, you've referred to him as the engine of the squad, and I've already seen people like putting Timber at right back and putting Calafiori at left back. And dude, if it's a cup final, Benny Blanco is on the team sheet in a cup final, bro. Let me tell you that right now, big man. Don't even play with the Photoshop.
I'm interested to see what happens with England, no lie. Now that Southgate's out, I wonder if he's back in the squad, because he should be 100%.
He should be. Let's see. You're right. That's going to be a fun storyline to follow. Speaking of England, dude, Starboy, another game, another goal involvement, had the assist for the second goal to TP5, was really on his horse to get to the ball for the first goal. Really helped create that, as well as King Kai. King Kai had a quiet game, but, you know, he was in the mix. So, but how about that from Saka, dude? They were booing him. Did you pick up on the boos? I know you were at the bar, so I don't know if you had audio, but every time he touched the ball, they were booing him. What is that about?
I had to watch after the second goal. I left because, like, you know, whatever. So I actually watched back like the first 5 minutes, and then I watched the end of the game. And I did, like, immediately, every time, like, immediately when he touched the ball, they're booing. Did this last season, not just Villa, like, away teams do this. I don't really understand. There's a clip of him when he got subbed and he's walking around the field, and he kind of gave it to some of the Villa fans, no lie. It's like, that's good for you, Saka, like the nice boy. Like, he's kind of like the, you know, the sweetheart, the darling. Like, nah, screw y'all.
Absolutely, dude. I love it. I love this. You know, he's really growing up in front of our eyes, and now you're seeing this ego come out a little bit. This little arrogance of just, dude, I'm like that, man. At your home, bro. All right, we'll see you at the Emirates. See you in the spring. Reece got some time. That was interesting. There's been a lot of news circulating. Let's save that for the transfers. Before we go to transfers, man of the match, David Raya, clean sheet FC, dude. How do you feel? It has to be him.
I think it has to be him. I do. I mean, that was a huge save. I'm trying to think of any other really significant saves that he had. But I mean, yeah, should Ollie Watkins score that? I guess maybe. But it's quick reaction, right? To be fair to Ollie Watkins for even getting it on frame, how many times have we seen something like that where they just hit it over or completely wide? So he did get it on frame. He still made Raya make a save. It wasn't directly at him. Like, no, that's big time things. I'm really happy with Raya to start the season. 2 games in a row, 2 huge saves. So love it.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting time for him, and he's now starting to maybe really push for the Spanish team. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. A little World Cup action for David. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if he continues with this form. Let's chat transfers, man. Obviously, from our Spanish goalkeeper to our new Spanish center mid. It's kind of fun. In the summer, I said I wouldn't mind having another Spanish player, and he's finally here. They took the money. Dude. He is going to wear number 23. What did they say? Edu kept it under that 40 mil and 4-year deal. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, 4-year deal. I was actually surprised at that. Looking at him for kind of the long haul, which means I think maybe more than I expected. Like, we were very interested in this dude and like wanted him to come in and see him being an impact. But again, I watched the comps and I was like, yeah, I get it now. I get it. I didn't realize how big this guy is. He's tall.
He's tall and he's thick. His legs look like strong, dude. Strong legs.
He gave me like, I mean, I'm sure he's not Busquets, but he just reminded me of him, like how tall he was, but also some of the turns he was making, like how quick he was with his feet getting around people. Like I think he's going to fit in well in our system. I put a question in here for you. Over or under 18 starts at the left 8 this year for Marino? I don't think he's going to play the 6. He might jump in there every once in a while if needed, but I think he's coming in as the left 8. We've already played 2 games, so there's 36 games left. So that's half the season, half the Premier League games. Over under 18.
Over under starts. I think if you expand it to just say midfield, like across the 3, I think across the 3 he will start half of the games. Specifically at that left 8, I don't think he'll. I don't know. I would take the under on that because I can see him coming off the bench a lot. Like for me, looking at it, like I said earlier, I know people are really excited and maybe thinking Rice is just going to go to the 6 immediately. But I think at the weekend, TP5 still starts and Rice gets subbed off for Marino to come on because Rice also just looks tired. So that would be my answer. I think under starts at left 8, but over starts across the midfield.
Okay. I'll let you weasel out of that one. That's fine.
Sometimes I do that, dude. I go around and around. But then we get to the end, so that's exciting. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be Marino already into the starting sheet at the weekend?
Oh, no. I think it'll be a while, but I think it's over just because the manager's in run-it-back mode. This is the issue with watching comps, Keon. You got to stay off the tubes, man. You got to stay off of them. I'm watching it, and it's... Call me crazy, but like I'm immediately being like, I get it. Like I get why this could be the guy. Like we saw Kai there last year. It didn't really look right. He can play at the left 8, but like I don't think he's what we wanted exactly. I see Rice play the 8. Good. I like Rice there. But there's something missing to me. There's just something missing. And then I'm watching the comps of this guy.
Tell me about
that's
the
what's
eye
missing,
test,
bro.
dude. Tell me about the eye test.
That's what's missing. Someone that can, I guess, dribble, play the ball forward, win the challenges. I think just he looks like a straight midfielder to me. Like that's what he is. I think Rice is more of like that 6 player. He's very conservative, good side to side, but maybe doesn't have the ball forward. Just doesn't have that deadly eye forward yet. This guy seems like he can play the ball forward, like he's looking for it. I think that makes the difference. That makes all the difference in the world. Getting it out to the left. Maybe that's what Martinelli needs. People want to talk about Xhaka being there. Xhaka could ping a ball anywhere, right? We know that. That was a strength of his. Going back to that season where Xhaka and Martinelli were linking up. 20 goal involvements, 15 goals, 5 goals. Was that, or 5 assists. Is that all because of Xhaka getting him the ball? Maybe. Maybe it is. This guy seems like he's able to ping a ball. I know I'm talking. The comps got me. The comps really got me. It is crazy, but I am actually very excited for this.
Yeah, now you've got me excited. I was pretty bored with the saga, so hearing you talk about it and knowing that he's gonna really start playing after the international break, it is pretty exciting, dude.
I think then this is something I didn't know, and it's pretty significant in my eyes. I believe he won like Real Sociedad's Player of the Year at least 2 years running, maybe even 3. I think that's significant.
That is cool.
And Zubamendi, like, and that's another name you have, but like they have good players come through there. To be your team's player of the season, that's significant. Maybe you don't have the stats to back it up. That's always a problem with assessing games, right? If you don't do the eye test, you're just, well, let me look at the numbers real quick. right? What we're doing to Martinelli. We're just looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
What is the eye test telling you? He's not creating the chances, blah, blah, blah. But like this guy, maybe he gets hockey assists, right? Who knows? Player of the season. To me, that's a big thing.
That is really exciting. Okay, cool. I mean, if you think about your question, I think it's a perfect segue to some of the other transfer news that has been coming through this week. Fabio Viera, a little bit of a shock move. It appears to the fan base that he's on his way out. I think the loan was confirmed today by the Arsenal. He's going to wear number 10, and it's a straight loan deal to back to Porto, back to where it all started. What did you think about that? Because on top of it, Eddie seems to be also on his way now to Palace. It seems like Eddie's getting his 30 million. So Fabio Viera, Eddie, Smith Rowe, will Marino play more than half of the games? Maybe.
Maybe has to, because we're running out of numbers. I was surprised. Like, this is kind of a shocker out of left field. To me, it means Reece is staying. There's not any interest in him. You got to keep one of them. We were talking about, is it Fabio or Smith Rowe? Well, it turned out it was both of them. And then now it's Reece is the one left.
I agree with you. I do think that Reece is probably going to stay. And I think that's fine. He had a good preseason. We saw his role evolve a little bit last season. He was getting some time near the end of games that mattered. And that showed again this weekend. So maybe that trust is growing back there. And to your point, sometimes all you need is a 6, dude. And he can put in a 6 performance with 10 minutes to go. We'll take that.
Take that all day. This leads into my question. I got it from Rory Talks Ball. It was on X. So Smith Rowe, Fabio Viera, Eddie Nketiah. They played 2,500, just about 2,500 minutes last season. Where do we get those now? And that's all in the basically attacking part of the field, maybe in the midfield. Yeah, you can throw in Marino. Do you think someone else is going to be coming in?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. With what we have, and I don't know the durability of Marino, but he seems like he's pretty durable, or we're at least banking on that. So I do think he can fill in all the 2,500 minutes that were taken up by 3 players, dude. It was split between 3 players. We love simple math on District Gooner Pod. and if you divide 2,500 by 90, that's about 28. That's 28 games. There's going to be 50 games in the season. There's still 50 games left in the season. He's going to play at least 25 games, dude. You're right. Maybe he does get the starts over 18 pretty easily.
Okay. I think that's fair. I'm going to go the other way. I think we do need somebody. And I really do hope someone comes in. And I'm thinking Jesus growing. I think Jesus is probably going to start and not Martinelli. I just do at the left wing. That didn't happen because he got hurt with a growing injury. Eddie played quite a few minutes last year because of injuries. I just don't know if 3 players gone. Sure, Smith Rowe, Fabio didn't play much. Eddie had a significant contribution last year. So I would like someone to come in. A forward. A
forward would be great. I'm just not getting my hopes up about it because I'm also just thinking they don't have to play. We just have to get to January at a good place. And maybe there's going to be some more business in January. We've gotten good forwards in January. We've got Trossard. I think we got Aubameyang in a January window. So every now and then, you don't know who's not having a great time and just becomes available in a January window for a little straight swap to help maybe get us over the line if we need it. But also, dude, I mean, you're saying you were so surprised, but I think generally the fan base was very surprised by Fabio Viera's departure. But I don't know why that's so shocking. I feel like it's not that shocking to believe that the manager sat down with him and told him, you're just not going to get that many minutes this season. And if you are getting minutes, it's not going to be in your best position. So go and play somewhere else. And also, when District Gooner Pod counted up to 100 goals, you didn't contribute to a single one. So pack your bags. You've been voted off the island. We'll see you next summer, young man.
Wow, ruthless, absolutely ruthless. It is a shame. This is the one miss if Fabio plays well, he comes back. Who knows what is in the future for the man? But it is a shame. 30 mil for the guy. Didn't play much. Just didn't get to see him. He had a great goal contribution record, right? Like per 90, he was like through the roof at times. But it seemed like a lot of game-killing goals, right? Like that third or the fourth he was involved in. So it's just kind of a shame that we never really got to see him. But if the level's not there, the level's not there. Like you trust him, right? I trust the manager, so.
Yeah, and look, at least you tried out the Premier League for a little bit. You know where you stand physically. That's the biggest part. Let's see if you come back a year later and you've bulked up a little bit and how it looks out there. Let's see. No one says the journey has to end today. No one says that. So the door's wide open, Fabio. Ramsdale, however, it looks like the door is officially closing here. Southampton, I think we've been kind of on that Southampton beat for a little bit. And it seems like 25 million. They're up to 25 million. Is a deal that Edu's tried to wrap up here. Good for Ramsdale.
Good for Ramsdale. I'm happy for him. I'll hold on to the good memories, of course. But I think he deserves to be playing. It would be a shame. I said this before. It would just be a shame to have him on the bench. There's no way a player of his level should be sitting on the bench. I hope he goes there, they perform, they stay up, and he's able to stay in the Premier League. That'd be great for him. But I mean, I'm also happy with Raya, so it all works out in the end sometimes, huh?
It does a little bit. Depends on your perspective, right? I think Ramsdale came from a relegation fighting team, got a taste of a title challenging team, and now he's going back to the relegation fighting team. So it'll be interesting for his career. We'll be following it along. I hope he has good performances for them, except for when they play us. Maybe there's a little clause in there. But we'll see, man. And yeah, and Southampton feels like a good club. Good stadium. I think good fans. He'll vibe there with their fans for sure. Was it a Southampton game he had gone to where he was dressed as like Hagrid or something like that?
Ooh, I couldn't tell you.
I think maybe it was. But okay, that's not official yet, so don't take it too hard, and also don't believe everything you hear on podcasts in general. But Kiwior is here to stay. It seems Arsenal shut the door on that as well. Did you see it?
I did see that. I was kind of surprised. But hey, if he's telling them to fight for a spot, you got great pro? Question mark.
I mean, is he? Are we keeping him around because he's a great pro? Maybe.
Minutes are super limited for him. To me, it's like Fabio Viera. Like, the minutes would just be very limited for you. So, I don't know why he's being selected to stay. I don't know why that is.
It's very interesting, the Kiwior thing, because there were so many storylines at the beginning about Italy. Italians have been chasing him for the last 18 months since he came to the club, but he seems to be really enjoying himself on the bench. There was a shot of him and Calafiori after the first goal. Did you see them celebrating?
No.
They were so hyped, dude. If I could find the link, I'll drop it for you. But no, yeah, I'm sure, dude, he helps keep the training level high. Maybe that's, we're looking for some of the talking points I've seen have always been how like this summer is all about raising the floor, not the ceiling. So, I mean, sure. Yeah. He's probably one of those. He's probably the floor. So that's great. You need a floor. So,
man, you're putting out the quotes today. Let's get some postcards going. Man, we need some merch.
Dude, so with the Ramsdale thing, it seems like this Espanyol goalkeeper is what all eyes are turning to. Hopefully he gets over the line, because if he get burned by this, that would leave a bitter taste for this window, dude.
Oh, 100%. I think what's cool about this one is we've kind of laid the groundwork, right? It seems like there's been posts maybe a month ago about the negotiations with the player, already have something, had talks with the club. So it seems like it's in line, basically waiting to pull the trigger when needed. Got 2 days left. Hopefully the groundwork's there. Just got to sign on the dotted line, cross your T's, dot your I's. Welcome to the Arsenal.
Another Spanish guy. He knows what to do, dude. He knows exactly what to do. Let's keep going on this goalkeeper train, man. Chesney. Chesney officially retired, dude. Shout out to Chesney. Good career. Fun. Yeah, best wishes to him.
Yeah, I saw that they offered him something. Arsenal did. And I think it was clear on the role he was going to have, clear on the financial incentive. And he was kind of like, hey, at this point, I'm good. I'm good on that, but I appreciate it. Come on, you Gunners.
That's fun, dude. All right, man. Well, before we wrap up the transfer talk, one storyline that has just been blowing up on the internet is Darwin Núñez to Arsenal? Who says no, dude? What are you talking about?
I don't think that was a reliable source. I really don't. I think it's already been shot down today. So it came out on Tuesday, right? Tuesday night? Or was that around this morning for us?
It came out basically as soon as they announced that they've signed Chiesa. Everyone was like, oh, well, he's coming to Arsenal then. I don't know how those things are related, but it made sense to the internet.
Give it to me. Psycho Núñez to Arsenal. How we feeling?
I mean, if I was on FIFA career mode, would I sanction a deal? Yeah, I think I would. He's like the epitome of one of those players that you hate on other teams, but you love to have on your club. And he's so unpredictable. Mikel's been talking about unpredictability. Here you go. It's perfect. I have it in a bottle for you. It's called the Darwin. So, I don't know, man. It's probably never going to happen. Are you kidding me?
No, I don't think it will. It'd be like an upgrade on Nuno Tavares to me. Like Chaos. Like he is an upgrade, but he's also still absolute chaos. Missing wide, missing left, missing over the top, and then a goal that you never think would be scored. Bang. Right? So he'd be an upgrade on Nuno. Nuno was fun for a while.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of bad sources, I'm still waiting for the mystery German to walk in. Where's the mystery German, Steven?
Who's that? The Euros were a long time ago. Where is he?
What happened to Kimmich? Remember all that?
Yeah, I actually think he's staying at Bayern. I saw a report today. Actually,
really?
He's going to be playing. The report was talking about him playing left 8 playing 8 instead of the 6 for this coming year. Due to the dude from Fulham, Paulinho, going to Bayern. He's going to be their 6.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Kind of a bummer. I would have liked him. There's also been chatter of Koeman from Bayern. I'm not too interested personally.
Injury prone at the Arsenal. It almost seems too good to be true.
Koeman links are just like Draxler. That's what I would compare them to. All right, man. Well, on Saturday, we go again at the Emirates. 7:30 a.m., dude. Get your coffee going, man. Here come Brighton. Here come Brighton.
It'll be a tough one. It's Labor Day weekend here, so got the extra day. So the pain of waking up early will be we can sleep it off on Monday.
Yeah, I think they call that a bank holiday for our friends across the pond.
Never heard of it.
So it will be a pretty bum if that's how Saturday starts. Hopefully it's a dub because yeah, it would kind of sour the 3-day weekend.
It would. So after this game, it's international break. So that's kind of get this one over. If we can start the season 9 points, fantastic. It's a tough run of games, right? The next 2 after that is it Tottenham City?
Yeah.
So tough run of games. Let's get through this one. What do you think? Starting 11. We already talked about one change. Anything else?
No, the rest.
Anything else you got?
No, the rest you run it back.
I agree.
The rest you run it back. Absolutely.
I agree. 100%. Left, keep Partey there. Left wing, Trossard. Left back, keep it. I think Timber plays another week. Maybe get Calafiori on a little bit earlier this time.
They're going to be good, dude. And, this game, it seems like a perfect time for Trossard to send that message because it's kind of a reunion for him. And it's kind of him saying, look, Mitoma on Brighton was part of the reason that maybe he was forced out, call it, or out of favor with the manager. And Mitoma, I rate Mitoma, dude. We were talking last pod about what left wingers are there that maybe you look around and say, that's not bad. There's one right there. And maybe Trossard's saying, look, man, I'm better than the guy who kicked me out of that club. And right now I'm firing better than this guy. You have to start me. I want this.
Boom. Boom. What's your score prediction? I'm feeling it's a home game, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to change it up this week. I'm going to go 3-1 to the Arsenal. No clean sheet.
Yeah, that's fair, dude. I think a goal is possible. Obviously, it's a home game, so my heart says 4-0. My head is actually telling me it's another 2-0.
Ooh. Vamos. Brighton look good. They look good lately. I think Brighton's always got a goal in them. That's just how they are. And we've kind of been, that's 2 games in a row. We've probably lucked out a little bit of not getting scored on. So I can see this game, that not happening.
It'll be interesting to see their lineup. At the weekend, they played James Milner and Bill Gilmore in the middle. So like that double pivot, I feel pretty good about our midfield against that. But maybe there will be a surprise, and that's not going to be the lineup. So, but I'm still pretty confident. I know we're scoring, and I hear you on them scoring too, but I think the defense is too good. It'll be fun to see if Timber gets another run out. They have a good right winger as well. A couple of young guys. I think his name is Minte, and they have another kid that Arsenal have been linked with actually, who's on the wing too. But Danny Welbeck will be there, so a lot can happen.
Yeah, Danny's been looking good. Danny Welbeck, he's bagged a couple goals. He's looking good. I'm usually a little bit more weary of Brighton. But for some reason, the confidence is high, man. You know what? I've heard somebody say it's not about the ceiling, it's about the floor, and the floor has risen. All right, the confidence has risen. So, I'm feeling good things.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, so are they. They just beat Manchester United 2-1. So that was pretty fun. We had called that out as maybe a game to watch, and I did watch it. It was entertaining. Some of the other action around the league, I watched the Chelsea and Wolves game. That's 6-2. That was fun, dude.
Mad. I turned it on at 3-2, I believe. And then, who was it? Madueke scored 2 goals back to back. I was like, unbelievable. I turned it off immediately.
It's the exact same goal that he scores 3 times. It's kind of crazy, actually.
It was so crazy to watch Wolves just like stop defending. It's like, what's going on? It's 3-2. Like they had no defenders. Still like the 60th minute. Like, what's going on, guys?
They might get relegated, dude. Heard it here first.
Did you call that? Yeah, you called it. That's right.
I heard it here first. Let's see. I didn't really catch any of the other games. I was mostly busy, and they weren't that hot.
I caught the end of the Newcastle-Bournemouth game. Bournemouth got absolutely robbed. They had a job absolutely put on them. They had the goal ruled out because they said it was a handball off the man's sleeve. Like there's to me, it's no way that's a handball. It doesn't make any sense going into a challenge.
I saw that, and they didn't send the referee to the monitor, did they? They just told him it was handball. Why didn't he go to the monitor?
They did.
What happened in the
not.
VAR hub? What did the PL Match Center post about it? Nothing, dude.
Their number one follower. They're already in the mud. That was I couldn't believe that. And then right after that, Newcastle put in a cross. Keeper catches it. Bournemouth keeper catches it. He's running out. Joelinton puts his hand on his neck and like throws him down. It's like red card, easy enough. It's just like last week when the guy put his hand on Kai's neck, like easy red card. They didn't go to VAR, they didn't go to the monitor, just gave him a yellow card. It's like you can't tell me any other game the keeper's running out, a guy puts his hand on his neck, throws him down, and you're just opening the door for that, right? Because it's gonna happen again, And what are they going to do? They're probably going to give him a red card. So it's very poor. Very poor to start the season. But I guess what did we expect?
Nothing. The floor is below the ground. It's a base it's a basement floor. So that's where they're at, man. I think that's good enough for this one. Hope everyone enjoys the weekend, enjoy the match. It should be a fun one, and we appreciate you for being here. Make sure you drop a rating if you enjoyed the pod, and we'll see you on the other side.
Be easy.